All right,
So
perfect.
thank
Sorry,
you.
everybody.
There you go. Thank you, Mr. Callahan and Mr. Lycobos, for coming here. We'll go ahead and begin off with your 6 years in the genre, Mr. Callahan. Could you explain us how you got here?
6 years of the genre. Well, for starters, I had my start back in GC. I don't know if many of y'all remember that back in the day. I think it kind of started maybe 2018 or so. But I had my start in GC Austria back when that was like a thing and at its prime. I took that nation, and I think at the time it was like rallied like 150 or so, which is like crazy for that period of time because up until then that had never been done before. And afterwards, I just really fell in love with the whole Napoleonic genre, and here I am today, 7 or 8 years later.
All right. Mr. Lycobos, if you wish to comment.
Explain my story or add to
Yeah.
Callahan's here.
Explain yours. You're your own person.
Oh, oh,
Not
okay.
pointless.
Yeah, no, yeah, no. Fuck. Napoleonic Wars. I started in 2016 for just like Napoleonic stuff. So that's a very long time ago. And eventually, after going through a couple groups, a lot of groups, uh, I met Callahan in a Civil War group, and then went to his Austria and yada yada. Flat, couple years go by, and I'm sitting in his Prussia, and well, here we are.
Let's move on to the history of Callahan in Prussia. If you aren't aware, if you're a bit newer in the genre, Callahan has commanded Prussia three separate times. Uh, One being in the former genre Europa Invictus, the second during the Waterloo period, and now Callahan has been appointed to be the army in the north to command Prussia once more. So Callahan, I have a question for you. What draws you back to Prussia? What inspires you to come back each time and give it a new light?
Well, I'd say there's at least two main things, and first of all is just the community we've built has just been, absolutely incredible. I've never seen it before, never been a part of such a thing before. Just the community in Prussia that started back in 2020 when I first founded Prussia. I mean, it's just absolutely insane. I mean, the connections we've made over the years, and just the energy of the community is just insane. I mean, the first time around, Prussia started in EI, and then it was me, Rule C, and Gory who kind of came together and said, "Hey, what should we do? Should we try to take this whole community to a step further?" And that's where Waterloo came from. And Waterloo eventually turned into campaigns and NW and such. And my first Prussia ended. Well, I mean, it's not really ended, but I tried to do something kind of crazy. But I ended up, owning both Prussia, Russia, and Sweden at the same time. I think that was in like 2022, maybe
Oh,
2023. I can't really remember.
whole idea.
That was, but like that was like the first iteration of the Army of the North was when I owned all three groups, and at that same time, like summer was ending. It just really screwed me over because rallies died and this and that, and I basically had a choice. I could pick either Russia or Prussia at that time, and I decided to take up the mantle of Russia, and Prussia slowly kind of just like died there without me, unfortunately. So I then did Russia for like I don't know, it was like 3 4 months. It was kind of silly. I mean, I love Russia. Russia's incredible, but Prussia's like my home, and I just can't, you know, I can't find the same success anywhere else as I can in Prussia. So then I, restarted Prussia, went back there, merged Russia into it, and then that was the birth of the second Prussia. And the community was on fire. Everybody loved it. Everybody was so glad we were back because Russia just kind of wasn't it for us. And then we did that Prussia for like a year, maybe more. I can't really remember. To me, it's been like just one long blur. I mean, for me, Prussia's always been just one Prussia, just like with a couple side tracks. I mean, for me, this is sure my third Prussia, but to me, it's just like one long Prussia. But then that second Prussia ended up not really dying, but it kind of like Sweden, which was led by Germ at the time, and I was really busy with work and school, so Germ and I talked, and Germ ended up merging his Sweden into my Prussia, and he became the Koenig for 6 or so months, and that did fantastic. But then Germ kind of ended up getting a little, I think things were good in that Prussia, but they ended up turning it into Italy, and that's when I took my like year-long break and got a whole bunch of stuff done in my my own life, and it was an awesome break. Glad I did it. And then earlier this year, Germ and I were talking, and I'm like, I brought up the whole idea of the Army of the North. That's where it came from, because you know I mean, that's always been like my dream is to have a proper Army of the North, here in NW. So Germ and I sat down, started planning, and before long, Prussia was back, and the Army of the North was born, and that's where we are today. So just community and these friendships is what has kept me, me and Prussia together for all these years.
All right. We'll pan over to Like a Boss. Like a Boss, you've been
Yeah.
following Callahan for quite some time now, and I'd like to ask what makes you so dedicated towards this pressure project.
Yeah, no. So originally Callahan came to me to lead a little regiment in Prussia, and I said sure, and after a while it became something a lot bigger. It really became a community that I wanted to be a part of. Not just on uh Roblox, but just everywhere, right? The community grew, and it became something where Prussia is something more than just NW. It's really just a community of friends and real close friends at that. I might add. A lot of us are hopefully going to be seeing each other quite soon. But yeah, no, really, it's a community that has gone through the test of time, the test of genre, the test of everything, and it's something I want to be a part of, and it's something I just really want to keep going.
Well, thank you. Um, if you were to say, if someone in this VC right now on the stage were looking to join pressure right now, what would you say is the difference to like what would you say, what advice would you give someone that wants to join your nation right now, like a boss?
What advice? Oh, see, when we were going through these questions here, I thought, oh, this is the tough one. Um, what advice to join Prussia? Really, if you are coming to Prussia, um, give it your all. Not even just like in battles or in leading or whatever you do, right? If you're a ranker or whatever, but just give it your all with yourself. Be there in the GCs, be there for the game nights, be there for the community, because that is what Prussia is. It is a just community of friends. And I'd say for advice, just show up with yourself, because really, like that's all we can ask for.
Callahan, anything that?
Yeah, I mean, Lost hit that on the head there. I mean, every single one of our regiments in Prussia is unique and just awesome. I mean, if I mean, yeah, I mean, I can't really add to that. He's got it. I mean, we just the community here is awesome. Like, be prepared to join a really fun community that cares about you and appreciates you being here and loves you for it.
All right, and then one last question before I pan it over to Hydricus. I have a question when it comes to your ability to handle drama and conflict within your community. Uh, as Prussia was building, of course you had to take on regiment commanders, take on other staff, and maybe they didn't mesh well with your community. How did you guys handle that with over the 6 years of Prussia being alive? How did you guys handle and navigate the turmoil within your nation?
Well, historically speaking, I mean, regimental feuds has always been. I wouldn't say like a big issue, and when there would be an issue, it would be pretty simple for us to solve. I mean, I'd get, the two parties that are clashing in a VC together. We'd sit there for however long, work it out, and by the end of it, usually there'd be a compromise or a solution, and everyone would walk away happy. When a CO wouldn't mesh well with their regiment, like, you mean like if it just doesn't work? Like, what do you mean by that exactly?
Well, I'm just saying if the CO doesn't mesh well with like the general, like the rest of the army, like one regiment stands out while the other army stands together. the other parts of it.
Oh, well, then I'd say if that regiment, we'd go to them, probably talk to them, and see what's up and see why they ain't fitting in. And if they weren't able to conform and fit in, then they'd be, they'd be on the chopping block.
Okay,
We've
well,
we've had to axe all kinds of regiments and COs before because they just couldn't get along or wouldn't conform to our, beliefs here in Prussia. And I mean, otherwise, there's what other solution is there? We're not going to keep somebody around if they can't behave and be a part of the community the way we'd ask them to.
Over to
see.
Hydricus.
Hey Callahan.
Hello there.
What would you say your peak was all over Prussia's? Like, no matter how many
Um,
Prussias you had, what would you say the
I
best moment was?
my best moment. Hmm. Like just like the absolute peak of Prussia.
Like when
Like,
Prussia basically, for example, I have somebody here tell me that Prussia was the best under you and Colt's Valor when he ran the guard.
eh, well, if we're talking like combat wise, rally wise, all that stuff, I'd say peak Prussia was back probably, I can't remember the year, it was maybe 2022, long before Colt was ever, in the picture. Back when we were rallying like, around 400 and, back when we were number one in the community combat wise. I mean, it was between us and Britain for a while. I mean, before, I don't know if you guys remember Fango, but before Fango got there, it was like Prussia that was pretty much number one, and then Fango showed up and did his stuff that kind of like replaced us as number one shortly afterwards. But just peak Prussia, rally, combat, everything was probably 2020. But I'd say that Prussia does not compete with like the modern Prussia's community and our discipline and what we're doing today. Like back then, Austin and I were still learning. It was just by, I'd
So
say,
you
a
would
lot of
say
pure luck and,
skill back then was way better. Organization today was way better.
well, skill wise perhaps, but I mean that was like a different community back then. Just
That's true.
like just NW in general. I mean back
It
then
was
the
way
game was
bigger.
different. Yeah, and then we had pixelated Apollo back then making videos too. I mean, if I had to pick a Prussia, I'd pick modern Prussia right now. I mean, I love what we got going right now. But if we're just talking rally wise and our ratings and then the community, I'd say it would have been 2022.
I see. And another question that falls under the peak, so what are some notable names you would say that helped you out in your peak Prussia?
Peak Prussia. Notable names. I mean, probably I don't know if you guys know Army Shooter or
Of course, we know Army Shooter.
um maybe Chieftain, who used to lead Freikorps back in the day.
Ludwig. I
Yep,
remember
Ludwig. Of course, Ost. Ost has always been here. We had another guy named Erwin Commander and a guy named the Oof. Um, yeah, notable names. I mean, that's
See.
probably, yeah. I mean, there's definitely a bunch of others out there, but those are just like the main ones that just come, the top of my head when I think about it right now.
I see. What's your future goals for Prussia, and what are you willing to achieve?
Well, Prussia right now is, I'd say we're on the rise. We're growing slowly. I'm hoping to get to a place where we're in the coalition and we're just an amazing ally for Russia, Austria, and Britain. We want to be able to work with them and work well with them. And I want Bio to come to me and say, "Hey, Callahan, can you send me 2 regiments on Saturday?" And then I'll go ahead and be able to do that, and we just do incredible. And I mean that's my whole shtick, as you could say. I want to be there for everybody. I want to be everybody's buddy. I want to be here for them, and I'd hope that they'd be here for me too. But I mean, that's what I see Prussia doing is we just want to, be a team
Influence community.
player, be.
Mhm.
I mean, not really influence the community, but we just want to be there. We want to be there for everybody, and we want to, we want NW to be the best place it can possibly be for everybody.
I see. What's your current plan for Prussia? So for example, we asked this to Benno yesterday, but for example, you walked in expecting X, and instead Y happened, and it's going good for you for that reason.
I'd say everything is going to plan since we first planned it back, earlier this year. I mean, sure, there's been like maybe minor deviations here and there, but just generally, we want to just slowly keep on rising throughout the summer. Armory of the North has so far been pretty cool. mean, I love working with Russia and I love working with Sweden, and I like where we're getting with that. But for Prussia, I mean, yeah, the plans just keep on growing slowly. We want to do it methodically. We don't want to like rush. We don't want to do merges. We don't want to do nothing silly like that. We just want to play by the book and be super careful. And we take a lot of things very seriously here in Prussia. We want to have the best staff. We want to make sure we vet everybody. We're just playing by the book, I guess you could say, and we want to keep on doing that.
I see. Back to Nathan.
All right, I'm gonna give you more of the harder questions in a second here, but if you guys were both to deliberate, what do you think is your most consistent regiment in terms of performances, in terms of rally, in terms of commanding? What regiment can you heavily rely on?
You have to pick
And
one.
that's yeah, that's a tough
Yeah.
because I mean
This
both
question is gonna upset some people.
no,
Well-
even then no, but I mean both eighth and fourth have been equally consistent since the very beginning. It is impossible to pick one over the other because they've both just been absolutely perfect. I mean I love both of those regiments so much. It's insane. I mean, seventh back in the beginning, they had a really, really like rough patch first couple weeks, but since then, I mean, they are just absolutely incredible. I mean, every single regiment in Prussia is well, every single Prussian infantry right now in Prussia is doing extremely well, and I'm very proud of
Oh
them.
no.
Sorry, dragoons, I love you guys too.
And if
You'll
you
get
want,
there.
and if you want to comment on what's the most improved Russian regiment.
Oh, that'd be seventh for sure.
Seventh,
Seventh
100%.
seventh is just seven. I love seventh so much. They started in a rough place and they pulled themselves out of it, and they've got everything in order, and they're just doing absolutely incredible. I love the staff team, and it's just they're just perfect. Love it. Love everybody, and you can't pick one.
All right, we're gonna pan over to a very controversial topic about Bolivar's Prussia.
Oh,
alrighty.
One preceding beforehand, when you know Prussia
When I was on
first
my
opened,
break.
when you were on your 1 year vacation to Cancun. I have a question, and what were the things that you immediately came in? You came in, you changed immediately to help rebuild this nation.
Well, I mean, is everything an answer, perhaps?
Yeah.
I mean, Bolivar. He's an awesome guy. I like that guy a lot. I've known him since GC as well. But I mean, I can't shit on his Prussia or anything like that because he did what he could. It was like it was, you know, uncharted waters for him, you could say. So there's like nothing I can say that, I can't diss old Prussia because while I was gone, they did their best to keep the torch going, and I can't blame them for that. And I'm glad they were there. I'm glad someone was there to do it. And I mean, I have a different view for what Prussia should be and do, and then he did. So we just had two different views, and I do mine, he did his, and that's absolutely fine. But I mean, otherwise, there's nothing I can really say about the difference between our Prussias because they are two different entities completely. There's two different communities. Everything's different. It is. You can't really compare my Prussia to Bolivar's Prussia.
All right. Uh, as we've asked, you've already introduced Like a Boss and how you met him, but if you could just introduce and explain to how you chose some of your current general staff.
Yeah, I mean, everybody, of course, us included, I've known for a very long time. I mean, Kevin, for example, I see he made his way up to the stage. I've known him for a couple years now. Just, we're all great friends. We get along together extremely well. We all know each other very well. I mean, Kevin, for example, this dude, he came to my wedding earlier this year in January. He was one of my grooms, and that was an amazing experience. Got to know him very well. I mean, that's basically the way I do general staff, just like extremely close personal connections, and like these guys are my brothers. Like, there's, in my opinion, there's no other real way to look at it. We're all on the same page all the time.
All right. Last question before we hand over to Hydricus again. This is for more of a Like a Boss.
Nope.
as the premier general within Prussia, we have a question about how you maintain regiments. Um, regiment activity, recruitment, and how do you delegate tasks to your other lower corps generals to get things done? How do you delegate the workload?
Yeah, no. You say core generals. We're not there just yet, but no, I get what you mean. Um, really, our kind of general staff or just high comm sort of group of people, we talk amongst ourselves, and it's not really a uh, me giving out orders to everyone else. It's everyone talking to each other and kind of deciding what's best, and that's really something that I take pride in with Prussia. In fact, I just want to circle back real quick when it comes to the whole discipline of our officers and regiments and everything. Um, obviously, when there's someone that just doesn't work in the mix, it doesn't go well. And like Callahan said, we've axed a lot of guys. Um, but something with this new modern Prussia that we're really doing is we're vetting everyone. We're making sure we're all on the same page. I don't think there's a single officer within Prussia that I haven't spoken with personally and just seen how their day is going. Make sure I know who they are and everyone's on the same page and just having fun. So when it comes to the activity or battle performance of a certain regiment or anything like that, I can't take the credit. I'm there and I'm checking in every now and then, but really it's people like Kevin or Shade or really just the COs themselves that are talking to each other and they're always looking up on each other. So yeah.
Thank you. Well, over to Hydricus.
Callahan, you were seen earlier, I think last year. Not sure. In Russia, Cav. Is this
Mhm.
true?
Yeah,
And
I briefly came back for about probably maybe a week or so and kind of got the Russian cab program started with the help of, Cyrus. I think Cyrus and I were the two there that were
Lord
started
Cyrus,
that.
yes.
Yep. And then afterwards, you could say I went back on break again, and from there, Block went ahead and Russian cav flourished under his command. Block is just absolutely incredible and took that Russian cav to great heights.
What was the intention behind coming back only for Cav? Were you just dipping your toes in the water?
Um, no, I mean, I kind of wanted to come back. I was kind of there at that time.
Hello.
My break, and
Like some plans you had that just didn't work out as you expected.
so I mean, for example, Colt. And Colt's an awesome dude and such, but I brought that guy in. He grew really fast, and at first it was awesome, but it just got to a point where he was like more of like a hindrance to Prussia as a whole than as a benefit. And he's a great guy. There's nothing wrong with him, but just sometimes people just have different visions, and it just does not work. And my dreams for Prussia, being huge, were kind of dismissed then and there. And since then, I've got much more of like a neutral tone to the growth of Prussia. It's got to be slow and steady, and it's got to make sense.
Okay. What is your best win and your worst loss?
Best win. I mean, if you
Something very
wanna,
memorable. Something very, very
well,
memorable.
well, Prussia to this day holds the highest victory score in the community, which is like insane. I can't remember the score, but it was like
It was
it's not been
it
beat.
was it was about 12K.
No,
But
it
I
was it
wouldn't
was
say
more
that's
than that.
that's our best win though. I wouldn't say that. You know what? It's
That's
a good win is something you fight for.
That's
and
true.
so really,
And I guess
fuck.
when we beat Imperial Guard back,
Today was a hell of a battle. So really, I
well, we
don't
didn't.
to put a best win. It's hard to say. If we're going by points though, yeah, it would be like the 12-15K.
Yeah, you know, we should split it that way. Do you mean by fun, or do you mean by like just
No,
points?
I mean, like, like for example, for me, like the best event I've ever had, it was, I won by like the difference in 20 tickets would be against Guard back then, and it was just all like having fun in TeamSpeak and stuff, and it was a very fun event. It's just like a very memorable event in your heart.
Well, I mean, do you remember that battle against Imperial Guard back in the day when we, capped the 1 ER Gren's Eagle and stuff like that? Ost? Maybe
Uh,
that one? I don't know. There's been a
yeah.
lot of battles. I mean, how many battles do you think we've done? Like,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
there's an exact one, that you're just like
nah.
whenever you remember
No,
NW,
there
you're like,
can't be.
oh
I'll say.
yeah,
Well, how about this then? Back when Tyler Sherman was doing
Austria.
his Austria, yeah, we did a joint Prussian-Austrian campaign together against, I think, France or someone there, and that was fun. I think there was only 2 or 3 battles, but those are super memorable to me because we took the Prussian community and we took the Austrian community and we just put them together, and that was the most fun I've ever had. And I met a lot of people doing that, so that's mine anyway. I don't know for Cal there, but
I mean, it's the same thing for me. I just, it's all a blur. And as for the worst defeat ever, dude, I don't know. There's never been a defeat that,
look,
that's that memorable.
there probably has been, but like I've forgotten it like on purpose, and I'm sure Callahan has too. So
I mean,
I mean,
nobody really looks into like losses. You just shrug it off most of the time.
I mean, there's not a single defeat that I can say stands out. It's just, I mean, geez, I don't, hmm.
Mhm.
Hmm.
oh, the
I mean,
fragment one.
there's been a few battles in the past where, like, we're down by like, 2,000 points, and we, lock in at the like second half of the battle, and we bring it back, and we like lose by like, 20 points or something like that. But otherwise, I can't think of anything. It's always the closest losses that hurt the most.
The
Yeah,
worst
because
never-
losses are
I've heard
when
the
we
same.
almost win.
Yeah,
I see.
I'd say those bug me the most is the battles where you come back, you put your all into it, but in the end of the day, it's just not enough. That's what eats at me, not the big old losses.
Fair enough. Who would you say has been your rival this whole time in the genre for the past,
Rival,
6 years? Yeah, somebody you
like
rival with, basically.
like in a
Somebody.
friendly way or like a negative way.
Yeah, no, like in a friendly, competitive way.
Okay, because there's no negative rival for me. Everybody's my buddy, but in a friendly way.
No, but there's definitely comp, like sometimes, like no hate, but just comp, like.
I hear ya. Um, hmm. Maybe back when Rhinebund was a thing, perhaps, Ost?
Mhm.
Well, Cal, if you don't have
Maybe?
one, pick one now, and we'll start the rivalry here.
Oh,
Shout
Dude, I
out a
mean,
name, declare it.
on spot declaring war.
let me think. Geez, dude, rival.
You want a
Rival.
dartboard or a?
I mean,
blindfold?
maybe when Fango was in Britain doing his exploit shit, that was a pretty crazy rival.
Yeah, but that's not really.
Lazar,
That's like
Lazarum.
that's cheaters versus legit.
Yeah,
It's just,
dude. I mean,
it's not. Dude.
that broke my heart when I learned that those guys were cheating, dude. Because
Cal, I found you a rival.
yeah, who?
Lazar. Lazarum's gonna be our rival. 2026, he will be our rival. So there you go. We're
Listen, Lazar,
declaring it now.
Lazar's
We're
Lazar's a,
declaring it
Lazar's
now.
a good friend. He can't
They're
be a
calling you out,
rival.
Lazarum. They're calling
He's
you out.
he's a good friend, but he wants it. So we're giving it to him.
Okay,
that
Lazar.
guy.
I guess Lazar's our new
Lazar.
There you
dude.
go.
We got.
Austin catching strays, dude.
Print
He's
it.
giving strays.
Out of nowhere.
Print
it
out.
Right
War
out of
declared.
left field. We don't want to keep you here for too long, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up with a couple more questions, and then we'll take one viewer question, and then we'll let this go. But
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. We're in no rush.
all right, just a random question out of left field. If you were to magically disappear, Mr. Callahan, who would take over?
It would be Ost. If I were to die tomorrow, it would be Ost who's the new Koenig.
Yo.
I mean, you magically disappear, die. Same difference. But I mean, Ost, he's got everything needed to run the nation. He's got a little less time than I do. He's very busy, but he's got the development capabilities, the leadership capabilities, and
Still have the
he's
3 digits on the back.
yeah,
Of
he's
your
got my
credit
credit. He's
card.
got my credit card. I mean, it's
Still have it.
he's all set.
All right, now
No,
for the today's battle, Borodino.
oh yeah.
You guys were stationed in Borodino 9.
Mhm.
If you just want to recap how that battle went for us.
Dude, it was so much fun. It was awesome. I mean, the Russian development team and their NW partners who set that map up. It is just such a beautiful map. It was so much fun to fight on. I mean, Prussia's match in particular today, which was part of Warsaw and Swiss, that was an awesome matchup. Everybody in Prussia had a ton of fun. I mean, I love that battle. I think we ended up drawing. I think they were up on us by like 300 or so points, but it was just such a it was one of those battles where we were down by like 1 to 2K, and
1.8.
we
1.8. Yeah.
we were able to claw it back to a draw. I mean, it was just a lot of fun. I love that. Today's battle was so much fun, and I'm looking forward to the next 6 battles I think there's in the campaign, and it's gonna be even more fun. I love it. For any of you guys who haven't seen Borodino yet, it's awesome. You're gonna love it.
You're missing out. Everybody hasn't seen it yet.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's a great. It's like super refreshing having a new map. It's like
It's not even like a bad map to even play on. There's shitty maps like Egypt where like it looks cool, but like
Bollock.
unplayable.
yeah, this
Yeah,
map
oh
is
my God.
it's fun. I mean, we had what was it called? What was the name of that map, Lost? Started with a B.
It was number 9. That's all I know.
Yeah, I can't remember, but it was beautiful. I mean, we were fighting down like those 2 mountains, and there was like a little ravine, and we're fighting that ravine.
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember the name either.
Gorky? Is it called Gorky? Maybe
It was an uphill battle for a lot of it, but
it was literally an uphill battle. Yeah,
it was really an uphill battle.
we were
bro.
climbing a
Yeah.
mountain. Yeah, we were climbing a mountain to get up to the French, but it was fun.
I was just part of it was just shooting from 2 hillsides across a river until someone decided to do something. But
How it
Yeah,
started,
pretty
we
much.
ended up pushing across and pushing them back, kind of not into their spawn, but kind of like next to their spawn. But
the only thing I didn't like was the invisible walls. There was a lot of them.
yeah, and some
Yeah.
of the maps there was some visible walls, but ours was just like a purely terrain map, so there wasn't really any walls or nothing to throw us off.
All right, Nathan.
Two last questions for you. First is on the development side of things. Basically, anything you want to say about maybe new uniforms, new weapons, anything new coming to the Prussian development team, Mister Like a Boss.
Well, I know a lot of people are asking me this like every day, without fail. In fact, you mentioned that, and out of nowhere, I just got like 6 different DMs. Everyone's screaming at me about it now, so thanks. But no, we do have a lot planned. Maybe some things that I'm not supposed to say yet, Callahan. But just recently we got some new pikes in, and well, it was supposed to be a surprise, but I guess I'll just say it. We're gonna be redoing all our weapons, all our swords, all the briquettes, everything like that. But that's really that's about it. No new regiments. We just got a new one now, 210. It's starting. 210's finally here. Palmer and Regiment. So shout out to those guys. But no, nothing.
And you can
Nothing
mention
I
the
can-
cab,
nothing I
the
can
cab
say out
reform
loud.
that's
You
coming.
want me to? You want me to?
Yeah, I mean, I
Okay,
guess you
so-
can talk about the new cab reform that's coming.
Yeah. Okay. So everyone loves Frycore and really wants us to do Frycore. So me and Callahan got together and said, well, if everyone wants a Frycore, we're not gonna give it to them because we hate Frycore,
Damn.
but we will give Frycore Cav. So
Well,
our
it's all-
Cav,
it's
our
not-
Cav is coming together to, I think, form a proper brigade. Is that right? Proper.
Well, okay, let me explain it, because
Proper
no,
core?
we don't hate Frycore. I love
I do,
Frycore.
and we're never doing it.
I love Frycore, but we've decided. Well, I've decided to take our cab right now, which is just dragoons, and we're turning it into kind of cab core. We're gonna do exactly what Russia's doing, with 3 different echelons. The first echelon, which is where all the new recruits and such are gonna go. That's gonna be the Frycore Uhlans. And then the second stage up will be the Dragoons, which they are now. And the third echelon is going to be Death Hussars. We're bringing them back too.
That's one thing. Everyone loves Death Hussars. So you'll get to wear the skull caps, guys. Finally, after 6 years.
Well, thank you for dropping that. As we break through 40 minutes of this interview, I'm going to end it on this final question. Looking forward now. Of course, you have the next 6 battles aboard. Tentatively planned ahead. Looking forward now, what would you think it takes for Prussia to become the premier, or at least the most dominant power in the genre?
Well, firstly, that is definitely not a goal of mine. I think that'd be crazy. I mean, imagine if Prussia was, right now on the spot replace France, rally, 5, 6 whole corps and just absolutely dominate. I think that kind of like,
If we were the
I-
best in the genre, people aren't doing their job right.
I mean, for me, that is not a goal. I do not want to be, the biggest, the baddest, nation in the genre. That's what France is for. France is an amazing job at it, and they should not be, contested or replaced in that regard. For me, Prussia is just, I want us to be really good in the coalition. I want us to be good allies for everybody. I want us to be able to be there and support everybody whenever they might need us. As far as skill, I mean, we're already doing really good. We're, every week that goes by, we're getting better and better. I mean, our ducks are definitely starting to get in a row. I mean, I think our goal right now is become, one of the best in the coalition. I mean, right now, I think Austria is probably, I don't know. Between Austria and Britain, they're both doing absolutely incredible right now, and I think we should definitely shoot to kind of get on par with them as well. But all in all, I mean, yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
Well, with the final remarks, of course, thank you, Mr. Like Boss, Callahan, and Kevin, for coming out to Europa Times for just under an hour, and thank you all listeners for indulging us in this Yap Fest. Of course, as always, a VOD of this interview, if you missed anything or missed any parts, will be placed out within the hour. So thank you all for attending. Thank you, Mr. Callahan, and any last words?
Hold up, hold
Oh,
up. Their
how's
ops are here.
Oh.
Wait, hold on. Get on the stage, Laser. Oh, he denied it. He denied he's scared of you.
Oh, it's striking fear in your opposition already. Denmark, maybe?
No.
Denmark, maybe? What? Moving on.
Oh, is that
What? You
Lazarus
can't
that's
say
coming
that.
up?
What? Can't say that.
No, he said I'm not home. I can't stop inviting me.
Oh, no.
Mr. Callahan, any final closing words from you, sir?
No, I mean, thank you guys for having us. It's fun. I mean, it's, while today we were, reading over your questions and such, it was awesome to reflect on what we've been doing and where we plan to go. I mean, there's a lot that I'm looking forward to for Prussia. We've got a whole bunch of plans, and we have them all like kind of specifically mapped out. Each month we want to do this, and then the month after that do that. And so far we've been on schedule, and it's been wonderful. I mean, I'm really looking forward to the cavalry forms. I have Rock Weeby down there in the audience, who's getting that all ready. He's taking this weekend to fix cav, because arguably right now Prussian cav is not that fantastic, but hopefully before long they can start making some ground on the community stage. And yeah, I mean, otherwise all the infantry is doing wonderful. We're looking forward to see second enter the stage and join her sister regiments. But otherwise I don't think there's anything for me to add.
Well, thank you all for attending. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. You all have a wonderful Saturday night.
Bye bye.